Welcome back. We've been talking to Dr. Richard Williams, who explained to us how he had a serious accident in which he was in a coma or unconscious for at least 2 weeks. He had severe injuries all over his body, starting with a fracture of his cervical and lumbar spine. He also had injury to his heart, as well as his lungs, as well as his pancreas, right? And he was not able to, be involved in his therapy for at least 2 weeks when you were unconscious. But the minute that he was conscious, he was back in the driving seat and telling them, well, I know a few things about getting healthy myself. So you took control and helped yourself. And look at you now, after hearing when you came back to consciousness that the doctor said that if you did live, you would be paralyzed forever. Look at you now, some 20, 30 years later, you're still healthy and you're walking and active. So results speak for itself.
Speaks for itself.
Yes.
Yes. And I have to say this. This week, I had a birthday. I'm 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
And I'm still no medication.
Wow.
No pains.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
That's
amazing.
great.
But it
That's
was a
amazing.
But it was a process.
Mm-hmm.
While I was in the hospital, also I guess there was a panic from the hospital because one of my visitors came into my room, and I was sort of they thought I was exercising, but they thought there was something wrong with me. because I knew that it's important
Yes.
to keep things going. So and and exercise is a key component. And I was using every available
Wow.
to exercise.
Yes.
And but once it was explained, then the
Yeah.
anxiety went down.
Well, it looked strange what you were just doing, so I can imagine how strange it looked in the hospital.
Right.
And there are actually medicines that can cause neurological twitching and these
Exactly,
kinds of things. And so
exactly.
I know that they were thinking, what did we give him? And we need to
Exactly.
hold back on something.
Exactly. Yeah. But that it was getting the exercise, and like I said before, I insisted that they move me daily so that I could get sunshine. And one of the things that I did, which was I don't advise anybody to do this, but I called a couple of friends of mine to sneak me out of the hospital so I can get some fresh air as we walked around, because air is key, And so, but my recovery really started when they had we had a meeting and they said, well, there's a pseudocyst developed around the pancreas. And of course, we can't go in now because it's too tender, and we can come in 4 weeks. So they said you'd be in the hospital another 4 weeks. I said, Doc, why don't you let me go home and come back in 4 weeks? They agreed, but they sent a nurse home to take care of
keep
me.
an eye on you.
And that's when I accelerated what I had been teaching: the water, the exercise, the sleep, the meditation, fresh air, and proper diet. So I'm a vegetarian, and I really accelerated those processes for 4 weeks. Went back to the hospital, they did the X-ray, they got in the huddle, and they couldn't understand how that cyst was dissipated so soon in 4 weeks. So they didn't have to do the operation.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
But they told me that with the pancreas that I'd probably have pancreatitis every 6 months. They also told me, because of the head damage, that I should not get involved in any type of academic things, They did the psychological test.
Wow.
They also said that I should not drive for at least 6 months. I decided to defy all of those.
That's what I was about to say. I think you broke all those.
When it came to the head injuries, I was working on my dissertation at the time.
Oh, wow.
And
Was this a doctorate level?
yes,
Wow.
yes. And I went through the dissertation with flying colors.
All right.
since that time, I went back to get
Mhm.
another master's. So that part of the
Mhm.
abilities, you know, I
Yes,
just
yes.
defied that.
Wow.
As far as the driving goes, I told my wife when I went home,
Mhm.
I'll be doing the driving
Mm.
because I didn't want the mindset
Mhm.
of being fear,
Yes.
the
Yes.
fear of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the doctor said, well, we can put you on disability for the rest of your life.
Mm.
He said
Wow.
it'd be easy.
Wow.
I told him I wasn't interested in that
Wow.
at this point because I didn't want to start thinking
Mhm.
disability because
Mhm.
if you start thinking it, you start
Yeah.
acclimating to that.
Mhm.
But I started at that time really accelerating
Mhm.
religiously
Mm.
those principles of
So they set the bar real
really
low,
low, very low.
really low in terms of expectations.
Exactly.
Tell us one more time as time is kind of going by here. What were the key things that you did in your recovery that made the difference as far as you're concerned? What were the key
I
things?
think three things
Uh-huh.
outside of medication. Of course, I
Yes.
believe in God, and I
Yes.
think that there was some intervention
Mhm.
there. But I think diet,
Mhm.
making sure that the nutrients make sure that the cells get the proper nutrients.
Mhm.
Exercise,
Mhm.
because the body has to that
Mhm.
augments
Yes.
the work of the cells,
Mhm.
and of course sleep,
Mhm.
because sleep, diet, exercise, and water.
Mm.
I think water is
Mhm.
really key because every function in your body must take place in a water-soluble
Yeah.
environment.
Yes.
And so I made sure that those things were
Mhm.
religiously
Yeah.
adhered to.
Mhm.
And as a result of that, I have not been back to the hospital
Mhm.
any of the
Mhm.
injuries,
Mhm.
none whatsoever.
Mhm.
I haven't had any indication at all that my pancreas is not functioning properly.
Wow.
And as far as my
The neck and
neck, sometimes if I sleep twisted,
Mhm.
I'll feel it,
Mhm.
but not really.
Mhm.
I mean, I jog, I play basketball,
Oh wow.
and I don't feel that. I feel personally, I really feel that God has provided,
Mhm.
not through a lot of money, He has
Mhm.
provided resources
Mhm.
that we can use to augment the healing process.
Yes. Yeah.
It can be a preventive area for diseases, and it can be a rehabilitative resource.
Yeah.
And those things are water,
Mhm.
plenty of water,
Mhm.
plenty of rest,
Mhm.
exercise,
Mhm.
sunshine,
Mhm.
fresh air,
Mm.
and of course, divine intervention
All right.
on a regular basis.
Mhm.
I am convinced, and as a matter of fact, that has been part of my mission to share this because I have seen it work.
Wow. Well, the results speak for themselves. When you look at you, 80 years old and looking
Wow.
so good, I wish we all could enjoy this quality
And
of
no
health.
medication.
Yes.
No medication,
medication.
and no pain.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dr.
Thank you.
Williams, today.
Yes.
We'll be right back after these messages.